Hi, welcome to the guide for Encyclopedia for the Common Man. The first thing to know is you can find your status in the logbook just under Maps under Building a Homestead, Encyclopedia of the Common Man, there we are. And you'll see how many of each type that you've recorded. And if you successfully got one, it will say log completed entry in the manor. Now there's a problem with farmers. You'll see here on different save, I've got inhabitants recorded farmers 3 out of 3, but it doesn't say log updated in the manor underneath. This is a glitch. There's nothing you can do about it until Ubisoft patch. The other thing you might see is inhabitants recorded woodworkers 2 out of 3, but the log's completed. That's not so much of a problem. Don't worry about that. That's okay. The only real issue is the farmers one. And again, if it says farmers 3 out of 3, but it doesn't say log updated and entry completed, then you're out of luck. There is nothing you can do to fix that, unfortunately, beyond start a new save, or just wait. Anyway, this is where Myriam lives. Down here is where the farmers hang out. This is the doctor's area, and he'll quite often hang by this crossroads here. The lumberers will hang around there. That's Lance's woodworking area. The innkeepers, Oliver and his wife are there. That's where Ellen the tailor hangs out, and Big Dave the blacksmith lives there. And then over here, where I'm standing at the moment, is Norris's place, down underneath the cliff. And I'm standing in the middle of town here to give you an idea of where everyone is. And you'll see they pop up as a white square with their name, 2 letters in a box, so you can identify them pretty easily. Once you get a hang of what they do, you'll know roughly by where they are what they are doing. Use Eagle Vision to see if they're gold. If they're gold, you can scan them. If they're blue like that, or the doctor that you'll see in a second, it means they're between tasks and you can't scan them. So that's a really quick way to get a handle on whether or not you can get an option. Also, there will be interactive conversations scattered around the homestead. Listen to them all, you can skip them, but people will be locked in the interactive conversation and unscannable until you do talk. Anyway, let's start with the farmers. Farmers do about 8-9 things. Ploughing the fields. Prudence will be chopping up wheat here. She'll also be milking cows out in the fields beyond where Warren ploughs. Warren also works the windmill up here, and I spotted Lance with him, but I never managed to work out what Lance was doing. I run around to have a look at him, but didn't see. Anyway, Lance will also fix fences. He'll fix fences all around town. He'll work on his wood with a plane outside his shop. There we go. Yes, it's straight, Lance. He will be with the lumberers, looking at various bits of wood. That counts as a Lance scan if you get him there. And finally, he will be mucking around with the chair, and I'm quite happy that that one unlocked my achievement. It's quite a good one to unlock it on. Stupid Lance, stupid chair. Anyway, that's the woodworkers. The lumberers will be pretty much entirely around this log. They'll be sawing it like this. There we go. The wife will be churning butter, or one of the wives. They'll also clean windows, but that's not a task that you can scan. The 2 dudes, Terry and Godfrey, will be unloading wood from the cart like that. Very interesting. And they'll also be chopping wood with an axe, and for some reason Big Dave's standing there, but I couldn't scan him. That was a bit weird. He's just sort of watching them. The doctor will be picking herbs in his back garden. He will also be sitting on a stump at the crossroads here more often than not. He seems to always hang out there. He'll often play games with Terry, a game of bowls. Up in the bowls, you can find that with the dice icon. And he's also got a habit of healing. He'll heal attendants. He'll heal townsfolk. So he'll be kicking around randomly with the townsfolk, sort of giving them a diagnostic. The innkeepers, they can be outside and inside. Outside, they could be looking after food. This is 2 different scans here, one on the pig cutting it up and one on the pig turning it on the roast. Oliver will get in this barrel of wine and stomp it to make, stomp grapes to make wine. His lovely lady wife will be watching, or kind of encouraging the cow to grind seeds, I guess, on the mill. And Oliver can also be scanned working at the bar here. There may be other options, I didn't see any, but that's 5, that should be plenty. Now, Ellen is a pain. She will be making a quilt or working on the chair. There we go, working on the chair. Or working on the dummy next to her with a shirt on it. I'll see that in a second. There it is. Or fitting someone just outside her house, and you'll see that too. But she disappears for long periods at a time, and I never managed to work out where she went. But that's 4 activities all around her house, so if you don't find her, fitting the doctor, if you don't find her mucking around her house, then, and you do find where she is, maybe leave a comment in one of the comments. This is Big Dave shoeing a horse. I've got 4 actions for him as well. That's the first one. The second one is working on a wagon wheel. I love wagon wheels. Chocolate treats. But he'll be smashing that up. The next one is working at the... Is that kiln? I don't really know what to call it. Anyway, he'll have his tongs and he'll be working on some hot metal. And finally, he'll be with a random person sharpening a random tool here on his millstone. I just don't know the name for these things. I don't know why I've forgotten. Anyway, you can't scan the other person. Norris is final. He will be in here hacking away at that rock. He can be down here panning for gold in the river. He will light a lantern, you'll see that in a second, and he can also be standing just in the cave entrance talking to Lance the Woodworker. That's a 4th one, but after 6 days of running around I got bored trying to capture it. But there's a 4th one where he'll be standing close to that. Oh, sorry, Myriam, the huntress. If you catch her shooting like that, that's one. Follow her for a bit. She's actually one of the easiest. Follow her for a bit and she'll go muck around with her snares. And that's the second one. If you continue to follow her, she'll go back and turn these hairs over the fire for number 3, and after that she will sit on a log and play with her gun. And that's number 4, but don't be confused, if she sits on the other log, she's just stoking the fire and you can't scan her there. There we go, 4 Huntress. Now, this is the route I like to take. I fast travel. You don't need to watch if you've got the hang of this, but I just want to show you. Fast travel down to this entrance, jump off the log. You're going to get very sick of that log. Go check on Ellen to see if she's doing anything new. Pop over to Big Dave to see if he's up to anything. At this point, they're not doing anything new for me. Then head down to see Norris, and you can just cross this log here and run down to the mine to check him out. And this is where I got him using the lantern. Here we go. Come on, Norris, you can do your thing. He'll quite often be standing outside that hut, and depending on what he brings out, you'll be able to scan him from the moment he leaves. He starts walking away from the hut. But without knowing what he's going to do, it can be quite tricky. So I often wait to see. Then I climb up here and head north towards the farm down this path and get frustrated at the stupid horse. And this is where I found Warren turning the windmill, but he could be anywhere. He could be tending chickens. He could be... there's a bunch of stuff he does with pigs. Prudence is out there with the cows, but I've already got her doing that. She can also be with the pigs. Then I head up there to Myriam, but I've already got her thing. She's up there by that snare, so if you need to go north now. Once you've seen Myriam, head south back across the bridge, where you might find the lumberers doing something interesting. Here they are doing nothing that I haven't already scanned. The doctor's there. He's on the stump, but he might also be, if you carry on around the back of his house, he might be there. And then continue north, and on the right you've got the inn where Oliver hangs out with his wife. And again, don't forget to check Oliver inside if you haven't got that. Lance is opposite, but he wasn't doing anything fun. And there's Big Dave and another check for Ellen. And then I just reload the fast travel, which resets them all and hopefully gets them doing different things. Anyway, hope that was useful. Lots of love. Bye!